For my research question, I asked, will an outdoor classroom increase student and teacher engagement and enable students to initiate their own learning experiences? So I decided to build a water play stream and also make a small container pond. So the items that I needed are a hand water pump. I decided to use the Gold Miner Sluiceway, and I needed 2 of those. Hold on, I'm getting behind. I also needed a water storage tank, which I used a rain barrel. I got a 30-gallon water container. I got water plants, and I have cement and things to build the basin for the sluiceway. And could you go back? Yeah. I just didn't leave enough time to list my items. So what we started with, I did some activities up front. We decided with our water container pond that we wanted to put frogs in it. So we graphed our favorite pond animal, and we read books about frogs and other animals that live in ponds. And we also did the life cycle of a frog. And here we are, we started filling up the container pond. Because it was winter time when we started this, we had to do it inside. So we started our container pond in the classroom, and I put it under a plant light just because we were putting plants in it and we wanted to keep our plants alive. And here we are putting the water into the container pond, and this was 30 gallons, so it took a little bit to get that filled. We put in water lettuce, water hyacinths, frog bit, and duckweed. And this had to be this way for about a month before we ended up putting in the tadpoles. Now, a student in the school actually found tadpoles in his backyard in December, which is unheard of. But he brought them and he gave them to us, and that was what we put in our little pond. And we've been observing those ever since December. And just this, like 2 weeks ago, they started to change. And here they are. You can see the tadpole with the legs. And then we actually have a frog. We came back from spring break and we had a frog. So the kids have really enjoyed this, and in the first picture you can see I found some frog eggs, so they actually got to look at frog eggs, and here they are just observing, and this is something they do every day. They go and look in the little pond and see what's happening, and they've really enjoyed it. And the one little boy, he's definitely our frog boy, because every single day he hollers, "Frog, froggy," and he is so excited about them changing into frogs. Now this is the outside construction. This is our sluiceway, and thank goodness the weather has gotten nice, so we've been able to get that going. Here's our maintenance men. They were nice enough to set it up because it had to be cemented and stuff. Here are my kids. They decided to make boats. We did them with pool noodles, and also we cut up our milk cartons and we made boats with those. And here they are walking outside. Now we just got to start doing this last week because the weather has not cooperated, so it's been pretty cold. So it's finally gotten warm enough for us to go outside and do the sluiceway. And here they are. They get to pump the water with the little hand pump, and it's actually a lot of fun. I enjoy doing it. And the basin hasn't been made yet. Eventually we're going to do the basin with cement, and also there will be pipes that will recirculate the water, and that's coming now that the weather's warm and we can get that going. But this has been just a lot of fun for me in the classroom. The kids have really learned a lot. They haven't just taken the frog life cycle, but they've also took and applied it to other animals. We're doing the butterfly life cycle right now and the ladybug life cycle. And we actually got started talking about how that life cycle can change and cause an animal to be extinct. So we've been talking about dinosaurs. And so they've really applied what they've learned about frogs to other animals. And we've also done the plant life cycle. So last year we did a garden as part of our outdoor classroom, and that was part of the grant. I got the ARI grant last year too to start the garden. So now we're doing the water part this year, and so that's 2 components outside. And I've noticed such a difference in my students and their engagement when they're outside. Instead of just playing large motor activities, they're actually doing a lot of cognitive stuff. They're thinking and processing and applying what we've learned in the classroom outside also. So our outside areas now become an extension of what we're learning in the classroom. And they're also just having a lot of fun with it, so they're very engaged, not only with the garden, but also now with our water stream and with our container pond. And we'll soon be moving the container pond outside now that the weather's nice, and we'll be adding some fish to it, so we'll have frogs and fish. I think that's about it. Let me look. Also with the frogs, you know, we got to talk about hibernation. So not only have we learned the life cycle, but just bringing in our frogs, our tadpoles stayed tadpoles for 3 months. So we got to talk about how animals adapt to their environment. So our tadpoles just stayed tadpoles through the winter. And now that it's spring, they've all of a sudden changed. So that was just really exciting for my students to see that change. We've also been talking about evaporation, and we've had a lot of water that has evaporated out of our container pond. And then we're also looking this week, where it's been so sunny, how quick the water evaporates out of the ground. When we're out there and we've pumped that water and it's spilled on the ground, but then it's evaporating very quickly. So my students are also learning about evaporation. I think that's it.